be snarky,
No.
just rude.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 347 of the Two Dumb Yinzers.
Ooh,
We got some good stuff today. We got some bad stuff today. And
the
something
good
that's
stuff
been,
is I'm here. The bad
and-
stuff is Derpy's here.
and
Yep.
Oh, shots fired.
Yep,
something that's-
I'm back.
something that's been eating
Randomly.
away at me. I wanted to see if either of you guys are able to help me out with my issue or not.
All right, let's hear it.
Don't you think? And if it's out there, let me know because I need it. But one thing that I've noticed in my adult life while grocery shopping and shopping for food, there's not an overabundance of squeezed cheese out there. Like, I mean, you could get your Cheese Whiz and kind of, do that. But I want a selection of squeezed cheese, like bottles. Like when you go to the condiment aisle and there's your Heinz and your Hunts and your Frenches and your Hellmann's and your Dukes and your why does nobody get in on the squeezed cheese game? I mean, that's I think that's America's favorite condiment.
It's because people like to eat cheese out of the bag in front of their refrigerator and act like they're a goblin or a gremlin. At least that's what I've learned off of Twitter. That's what people like to do. And I don't get it.
I have a theory is why there's not squeezed cheese out there available, which I think it's insane that it isn't. But cheese, unlike the ketchup and the mustard and the mayonnaise, when people have, things, they have picnics, they have get-togethers, they tend to leave the condiments out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And even past the time that people were eating, sometimes people forget to put it away. And I think cheese is just something that you really can't mess with. And I think a lot of people are probably staying away from it because it's hard to keep a good shelf life on cheese, especially if it's not refrigerated constantly. And maybe that's the concern because people would leave this cheese out all the time. And I'm not even veering away from, giving us the fake cheese. Give us the fake cheese, like that stuff that you get with the little packs of pretzels and that cheese that's in the bowl.
Yeah,
that cheese can't be real cheese. It sits out in room temperature constantly until you eat it. But something there needs to be, guys. Squeeze cheese.
scientists, quit trying to cure all the different types of cancer and get on this cheese. That's what I'm getting at right now. Ryan wants to get the cheese.
If we got to wait on them, I don't know. But I think if somebody wants to make a lot of money, find a way to get cheese into a bottle and sell it to people. I for one would buy it. And I think that I'm a pretty average guy when it comes to things like this. I think people would buy squeezed cheese. I think they would love it. They would put it on everything. They would put it on their burgers, their hot dogs, their fries, nachos, anything. And people might say, well, you can go get a jar. But that's like, why can't we just have it in a bottle? Why?
I don't know. I didn't realize it's like the pressing issue of the day. You got off the deep end with the cheese. You just want to like spray it in your mouth, don't you?
It's just disturbing. Well, I would like to spray it in my mouth. I'd like to have the opportunity if I would want to. I mean, they have the aerosol cheese that you put on crackers. I mean, that's close. But,
that's all you need. That's all you need.
I want when you go somewhere and you go to the local hot dog joint here and they have that bottle of cheese. I just want to squeeze my cheese on stuff. Is that so much? Is that so much to ask?
No, not really. Not really, but
so there you are.
You're very passionate about your cheese.
I just don't understand why it's not a thing. Why? Maybe some even weirdo company that only makes cheese with their bottle clear down at the end of the aisle that nobody even knows. I looked. There's no weirdo cheese.
There's no weirdo cheese.
No, I was looking for a non-name brand. Maybe somebody else does it. But it must be a thing because nobody does it. I mean, there's got to be something.
There's got to be something. I don't know what it is, but maybe we should get in on this.
Mike, there's a lot of money to be made on squeezed cheese. I promise you. People love cheese. They love cheese.
They do love their cheese, and they do love squeezing stuff to get their whatever it is out of the bottle. So
yeah,
we might be onto like $1 billion idea here. The Two Dumb Yinzer cheese.
We'll go into Shark Tank, me, you, and Derpy, with our cheese idea.
That's more than likely happening than the Pirates winning a World Series this year.
Well, damn straight it is. I think a lot more likely. I just can't imagine. I squeeze cheese on everything. On everything.
Here, I'll go buy you some like nacho cheese and I'll put it in a like an empty ketchup bottle for you.
We
You
just
can
got to
squeeze
figure
it.
out how to do the get get the
That might.
preservatives.
That's actually a good idea, though. That's not a bad idea.
We
Putting
just
the
have
cheese in a ketchup bottle.
we have to figure out the preservatives, though. You know what I mean? I think that would probably be the issue, is why people don't want to put cheese out on the shelf. I would guess.
I don't know. I like cheese, but I'm not a big. I don't get the appeal of like, oh, I'm just gonna go eat some cheese. I don't understand that. I don't get it.
I mean, I'm not
Colby's the best, though.
I'm not constantly shoving cheese into my face. I'm just saying, if I get something
Yeah, you want cheese
that
on it.
warrants having squeezed cheese, I at least like to at least have the option. You know,
Yeah, I understand.
there's no option.
Wow.
This is what Ryan's going to protest outside a government building one day. There'll be people protesting everything. There's Ryan. I want my cheese. I want my sprayed cheese out of a bottle.
I know my life for one would be better if there was squeezed cheese. That's all I'm saying.
Ryan's out here solving all the major issues going on in America right now.
Fuck Russia. Fuck the submarine. We need cheese. You want to be happy?
You want your cheese to be under the same amount of pressure that submarine was.
Meme. Thought for a moment. Clear your mind. That meme with that little weird kid on The Simpsons sitting on the bus, chuckles. I am in danger. You see the meme?
Yeah.
Well, cue that meme now. The Pittsburgh Maulers, they found their opponent out last night. The USFL South Division had their championship game. It was between the Birmingham Stallions and the New Orleans Breakers. The Stallions win this game 47-22. The Breakers supposedly had the second best defense, only behind ours, and a really good offense. The Stallions, right here again, cue that meme. Their quarterback is a guy named Alex Magoo. Magoo, right? You would never thought in your life you'd have a problem with a guy named Magoo. But they got this quarterback, guys. He's one of these guys. He gets it done. He does a lot of amazing things when he plays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's had 310 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 8 carries, ran the ball for 84 yards and a touchdown, 5 touchdowns. He's going to be a problem.
He is. He was running that offense very efficiently. He's 20 touchdowns and 5 picks this year. He is.
They're the number one offense.
Really, yeah. I can see why too, man. He was firing on all cylinders. He's damn good quarterback, though. Their running back is fourth in the league in rushing. So they got a good offense, man. That number 2 receiver in the league, that offensive line was firing off the ball as well too. It's going to be a tough test for this defense.
It is the number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense. You like to see it. These running backs, again, let me get back into the running backs, as Mike was saying. Person Jr. Okay, so on top of Magoo rushing for 84 yards and a touchdown, Person Jr. runs for 84 yards. Marable runs for 72 yards and a touchdown. It's a very relentless offense.
Yeah.
And it's gonna pose a challenge. And not so much that I'm concerned about the offense versus defense. I think the big concern comes down to our offense versus their defense.
Yeah.
Because you got 1-1. They're going to do what they're going to do. We're going to do what we're going to do. The difference in this game just might be, are we going to be able to do anything offensively? And can we rely on the special teams enough to keep us in a game that could score at will like this team does? So it's going to, I'm going to put it out there. The Stallions, they're 9-2 at this point. The Maulers are 5-6. So, I mean, as good as our defense is, we're going to kind of need a miracle.
They are. Magoo, real quick, he's the 6th leading rusher as well.
Yeah.
So not only is he the best passer, he's one of the best rushers in the league.
They were 4 for 4 in the red zone. And let me remind you, the New Orleans Breakers have the number 2 defense right behind us. Magoo, 310 passing, 4 touchdowns, 84 rushing. 1 touchdown. Both of those other running backs, 84 yards, 72 yards with the touchdown. 4 for 4 in the red zone. This team was 308 yards passing total, 245 yards rushing total, for a grand total of 553 yards.
Oh man.
And this Magoo, he's one of these freaks. He's almost like he just goes out there and gets it done. There's nothing that he does is wrong whenever it gets going with this guy in this team. Nothing that he could do is wrong.
No, he, like I said, man, I watched about a half of that game, and he was just marching that offense up and down the field, and it didn't. He does not get rattled. He's just oh my god, I'm stuttering here. Incomplete control. Oh my god, easy for me to say, of that offense. He knows that offense inside and out. They have weapons all over the place, tight end, running back, quarterback. It's going to be a tough one. I think the defense is going to. I think the defense will rise to the challenge. But like you said, it's going to come down to the Maulers' offense against the other team's defense, and I think that's going to be the tipping point.
I think what I think we mean when we say that is, it's gonna our offense is not going to be able to generate enough. We're going to put them in decent field position. So then what's going to happen is you're going to have a highly powered offense, always getting decent field position against a really good defense, but you can only rely so much on a defense.
Yep.
If you keep doing that, it's not going to matter how good the defense is. This team is going to find ways to put points on the board. It's going to be very interesting to see what kind of approach that the Maulers take to this game. I'm very interested. Again, this is a new team. This team has won 3 games in a row. So I mean, they're doing something right here. But this is the biggest challenge of the season. You go back and look at the earlier game this year. The Maulers only lost 24-20 to these guys, and I can't recall that game off the top of my head. But they have to go back and figure out what the world they did in that game, and figure out how to duplicate it and then some. Because again, this Magoo is going to make things happen.
Well, they actually shut him down. They actually shut him down in that game.
Yeah,
I'm looking at an article right now. They actually shut him down. He only had like 100 and like 2 interceptions. Maulers had 2 interceptions against him. So
that's what we got to do. We got to, whatever it was that we did, we have to.
Well, it was a late game touchdown on special teams. I think that's what happened with that loss.
With
when you played him in week 5,
the Stallions scored a late touchdown.
Yeah.
I remember it to a degree. I remember we had a good chance of winning this game. I just don't remember exactly what happened. Maulers versus the Stallions, Saturday night, NBC, 8:00 p.m. I can't wait for one. You know what? Look at the XFL. That's one thing that I have to keep saying to myself is this Arlington Renegades team that was, I think, the same record going into their playoffs. Were able to go in and knock off the number 1 team.
Yeah, so, Derby's right. Yeah, we scored a late touchdown, and then boom, they had a kickoff return for a touchdown.
And won the game.
It was punt, end of game. Yeah, so we took them down to the wire. It was a close game. So like Ryan was saying though, they Maulers need to figure out what they did in that game to shut down that offense and do that and more.
It should, it should be somewhat of a similar game. And you would think that the Maulers offense had gotten better since then, but so has Birmingham. I'm sure they have sat around in their hands and not done anything in the meantime, obviously. But it should, in theory, be a good game. I mean, you look at the record, you think, even if it's a good game, I can tell you how it's going to turn out. But let's hope that's not the case. Let's hope that we could get another case of the Arlington Renegades or something. I don't know.
I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a close game just because of that Maulers defense. They have not slowed down all year.
No,
I think they had one game where they gave up more than 30 points. So this defense can rise to the occasion. There's playmakers all over on that defense. I think it's going to be a tight game.
Before we switch entirely over to the diamond, one quick comment that I saw. I'm sure you guys saw it. Kerry Kittles of TJ Watt. You're not going to be able to get past me, he says confidently about TJ Watt in the very first matchup of the season. What do you guys think about the Kerry Kittles, or what's his name? George Kittles. George Kittles and TJ Watt matchup in week 1, 11 Sundays from now. What do you guys think about that matchup?
Last time they faced each other, Watt didn't have a sack.
When the hell did we even play them last? I don't even know.
I don't know, but they played once. He
Gotta
didn't
be
get a
years
sack.
ago.
Yeah, he had. Watt still had an interception, a couple pass defenders, and a sack. But Kittle's he's like, I'm reading that quote, and it's like saying like, hey, it's past 15 week. You're 1-on-1 versus Cam Jordan. You're 1-on-1 against TJ Watt. Go for it. I'm like, hey, he gets paid millions of dollars to rush the passer, but I looked at that as an opportunity for me to be like, you're not going to be able to get past me. I'm very excited about that. So he's ready for the challenge, which, if you don't have that mentality, why are you playing in the NFL?
I agree.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a good battle between those two
to a degree, in a sense that, 76 days away, save it a little closer to game day. I don't know. You're talking trash, and he was
asked a question about pass blocking.
But listen to my point. My point is this: TJ Watt is one of the best defensive players in the league. You're not going to be able to get past me. It is a challenge. Yes, I get it. Okay, he's confident with himself. Let's talk the trash on the field. Let's see if that really plays out that way. I'm going to put my money on TJ Watt and says he does get past him that day, but that's neither here nor there.
Like because I read that article in the paper and I'm like, I just don't get it. He was asked a question, gave an answer, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So, that's what I would if he was asked a question and he's like, yeah, I'm confident in my abilities to go up
Cam
against
Hayward
these
being
guys.
asked a question about playing defensive line, and he says, yes, I'm one of the best in the league. You're not one of the best in the league. Let's prove it on game day. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Kittle has proved it on game day. He held Walt without sacks before
4 years ago. I don't care about that, Mike.
So he did it,
Mike.
I would be concerned if he goes. I would be concerned if he's like, oh God, I'm going up against TJ Watt. He's going to get my quarterback killed. I don't know what I'm going to do.
What does this have to do with this coming season? Nothing.
What I'm saying is, it's a track record that Kittle.
He played him one time. That's not a track record. That you don't.
He did it then, but he did it.
But nobody cares about that. That's 4 years ago. Nobody cares. What I'm talking about, prove it on the field.
He did prove it on the field. He did. You keep saying prove it on the field, and he did.
Mike.
George Kittle's a hippie.
Like
George Kittle's one of the best tight ends in the game.
Nobody even cares about a game 4 years ago. I'm talking about right now. People, things change. What I'm saying is it's the same as Cam Hayward saying that he's the best in the league in the offseason. Don't tell me in the offseason. Come show me during the season, and then we'll know for sure. All it is right now is me taking your opinion. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think that you're going to stop him. That don't mean nothing to anybody.
So he's supposed to say, "Oh my God, TJ Watt's going to blow me up. He's going to sack my quarterback 7-8 times. I don't know what I'm going to do."
But you know what? We don't know if that's going to happen either. So it's just his people are taking a person's word. Bring it on the field. Bring it on the field.
He does bring it on the field. He's one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah, they don't know who their quarterback's going to be.
Bring it on the field.
But that, Mike, Derby, that's like
totally
neither here nor there.
That's the part that's so annoying.
What's the point?
The point is they have a game coming in 77 days. That's the only game that matters. I don't care about 4 years ago. I don't care about 75 years ago. I'm talking about this particular quote going into that particular game 77 days from now. What he says has no validity to anything. Who cares? He's not a fortune teller.
Not Travis Kelce.
And screw Travis Kelce if he said the same thing. If he's going to say it, bring it on the field. It's the same thing as Cam Hayward telling us he's the best during the offseason. Nobody cares. If you had a good season, how many years ago? Nobody cares. Don't tell us. Do it. That's all.
He does it. He does it year in, year out.
He didn't know. He didn't play this game at 76 games from now is what I'm saying is the part that you're not getting.
So the past doesn't matter. So the past doesn't matter. In sports,
one game 4 years ago, no, it doesn't matter. Absolutely correct.
So then I'll remember that the next time you say like historically the Steelers are the best team in the North because that doesn't matter. That was in the past.
Mike,
no. You're saying the past. You're saying
way over your head.
You're saying
you're not going to get it.
But then the past does matter.
You're not going to get it.
You move the goalpost every time you have an argument. You say one day you're saying the past matters, and the next day the past doesn't matter.
No, these are the things that you do, and you're turning. No, Mike. This is just.
So you said prove it on the field.
Mike, this is silly.
On the field that he can.
One game 5 years ago, nobody cared. I'm talking about the shit he's talking right now.
He's not talking shit.
No, he's talking about a game that's coming up in 77 days. He's not talking about a game that he played 5 years ago. He's talking about what he's going to do 5 months from now, 3 months. Nobody cares. Do it. That's all I got to say. Just do it.
He said he's looking for.
So
He looks at it as an
Watt gets by
opportunity.
him, I am going to get on here and pound your shit because 5 years ago he had a good game that means nothing to nobody now. But if
It means
TJ
something
Watt
to you
happens to
'cause you're
get
getting all
by him
fired
on
up
this
about it.
comment that George Kittle's made right here,
Like I'm
then
trying.
you're
I'm
if
trying
you're
to,
wrong,
I'm,
then you're going to
I'm-
be as wrong as anything. And we're
I'm
going to come on
looking
and
at
pound
this
your shit.
comment.
You're going to twist it and turn it and say a moving field goal post. That's what I'm saying. You're just not getting it. We have to move
I'm
on.
trying to look at it like he's like, I look at this as an opportunity for me to be
Okay.
like, you're not going to get past me. How is that talking trash? He's
I
taking
know.
it as a challenge.
That
Like,
is so
that makes no
crazy.
sense. It makes no sense to
Crazy,
me. Where
Mike.
you and other Steeler fans are seeing like as a disrespect towards TJ Watt.
I
don't
know.
get it.
I'm
I
not saying it's a
don't get it.
disrespect. I'm just saying show it on the field and not
Like he
5
has
years
showed it
ago.
on the field.
Yeah,
He's like
showed
showed
it
it on the field.
5
Then he
years
shows
ago.
it on the
They played
field.
the Steelers
It's on
5 years
film.
ago.
It's
Oh,
on.
shit.
It's on film. It's
Nobody
on film.
cares. That means
It's
nothing.
on film. It's on
That
film.
means nothing.
Okay, so then I'll remember.
So the
next time you
win that
start
Tim
talking
Tebow
about,
had over
yeah,
the
I'll wait.
Steelers 17 years ago, you know what? Nobody cares about that. If he would come out and say, "Well, I beat the Steelers in the playoffs," nobody gives two shits. That don't mean nothing. If he was coming out to play the Steelers next month, that would be what matters. You see what I'm saying? Nobody cares, Mike.
Past performance is predicted.
One game
You can
5
use
years
past
ago is a
performance
terrible
predict
thing to go
something.
by in any sport. Believe
No,
me.
I'm just saying he's done it in the past. You say he needs to prove it on the field, and he did prove it on the field.
For
But because it was in the past, it
particular
doesn't
shit
count.
he's talking right now, he hasn't proved it. He's talking about the next time they play.
He's not talking shit. He says he looks at it as an opportunity.
Again, that's what you're right. That is your words. I'm
Prove
sorry. You
that
did say
they
talking
can't-
shit. I didn't say talking shit.
You
You're
said he was
100%
talking
right. No,
and
I
said
didn't.
all
I'm
he's saying
saying
is
this
he
quote
looks at
that
it as
he
an
made, Mike,
opportunity.
is pointed toward the game 76 days from now. Correct? Can you agree on that?
He was
The
asked
quote that
how,
he
how
made
does
right
he
here that
hold
we're
up
reading
against-
is being pointed toward the game 76 days from now.
He
Correct?
was asked who he thinks the best
Okay. See, if you can't
pass
answer
blocker
a simple
as a tight end is,
question,
and he said I think
this
it's
is
me.
obviously a conversation that you shouldn't be having. We have to move on. It's baseball
because
time.
you've
Guys,
lost the argument.
Buccos-
This is
Mike,
what
I
you
didn't
do.
lose
You
anything.
get
You
into
made
it.
no
You bring
sense
up
literally
stuff
the
that
whole
doesn't
time you
matter.
talk.
You
You literally made
try to
no
baffle people
sense,
with
and then
bullshit.
you turn things
because
around
when
and
you lose
accuse
an
it on
argument,
other
that's what
people
you
to make
do.
it look like
That
people
is what you do.
get out of here.
That's what you do.
You're
You're
insane with that.
baffling
That's
with
crazy.
bullshit
That's
because you
silly
can't win the
talk.
argument because
Silly
I've already
talk.
proved
It's
that Kittle has
silly.
blocked him. He has done it.
Okay,
and you
there
don't
you
want to
go.
accept the fact that you were wrong.
Anybody
It's
that's
okay. We
listening,
can
you
move
do
on.
have the right to make your own opinion. Make your opinion. We got to move on, guys. Over to baseball. The Pirates faced the Marlins in Game 4 of a 4-game set that they were down 2-1. They come into this game. Now, I got to tell you something, guys. The pitching staff on this team over this past 4 games that the Pirates have, all against the Marlins. 3-1, they lost the series, 3-1. Listen to this. Oviedo pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run. Keller pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run. Ortiz pitched 8 innings, gave up 1 run. Bido pitches 5 2/3, gave up 2 runs. And we lost all 4 of those games. We don't have the offense to do anything. Anything. And I'm going to give you the numbers to prove it. The other day, I gave you some players, and it was 0 for 76. Well, it didn't improve for most of them because Bay, Sawinski, Castro, and Hedges are combined 0 for 84 right now in the last 84 at bats. That's 8 games for Bay, 10 games for Jack, 8 games for Castro, and the last 7 games for Hedges. None of these guys had got a single hit.
But those were in the past. Those stats don't matter. We're going to talk about what's going to happen today.
So if you get this dominant kind of pitching, Mike, it was literally over the weekend, and it's the game we're talking about. So again, you don't see what we're talking about. You don't understand
that was in the past.
Conversation. So we have to move on, Mike. We can't continue this.
It was in the past.
It goes your way. We're going to sit here and yell at each other for 20. We can't do that. This is the show.
Yeah, the show is us talking sports.
So the Pirates lose this series 3-1. And again, you're getting winning pitching. I mean, that's winning pitching. But you can't score. They got shut out yesterday, 2-0. Pirates dropped 35-42. Marlins lead the series 45-34. The division breaks down. The Reds are at the top. The Brewers are half game out. The Cubs are 3 games out. Pirates are 5.5. Cardinals are 8.5. Pirates are going into a series against the Padres tomorrow night. Padres are coming to town. The Reds are taking on the Orioles. Brewers are getting the Mets. The Cubs are getting Philly. The Cardinals are getting Houston. Again, these are good teams, but the Pirates, you have to be confident that they're at least going to win anything. They're not winning anything. they're going as backwards into this All-Star break as you would have probably predicted at the beginning of the
Right.
season. But there it is. I don't think it's going to get any better.
It's not, and there's no help in sight either in that minor league system. And they, we brought up Davis, we brought up what Gonzalez. They really haven't done much. There's like our best pitching prospect has like a 4-point ERA down in AAA, and he's only like what 21, 22. There's no help in sight, and the GM, he's not going to do anything because, like he said, hey, we were fourth place team. That's what we see ourselves as. So why is he going to go out and do anything? The owner's not going to spend any money. But I don't know. Do they need to that hitting coach is terrible because everyone looks at the same pitch every day. We're just going to look at fastballs right down the middle because God forbid we swing at those. I remember that from back gone in the days when Cam Bonifay was GM. You never want to take a swing at that first pitch. So everyone's throwing heaters right down the middle. It's this organizational like philosophy from top down makes no sense offensively. You got J1 Bay who can't even, or who's a Connor Joe couldn't execute a bunt. Like, how do you bunt? You do that from everyone knows how to bunt.
He hasn't had a bunt yet in the majors.
It's comical, man, how bad this offense is. And when they do kind of get, a chance to win, the manager comes out and messes it up. It's just comical. They find a way. They find new ways to lose.
Mike, and it's not even that, we say the hitting coach and the guys aren't hitting. 0 for 84 between 4 players is
that's bad.
It's in its own stat field. It doesn't even, these kind of things don't happen to even bad players and bad teams. This is of proportions that most people never saw before.
No, it's like, and it precipitous drops. Not
and
even from don't even, I understand, that first month they were on fire. There was going to be a drop. They've just been dropping month after month after month. How do you forget how to hit?
How entirely? How do you forget entirely? I can see if your average drops, but 0 for 84.
Like I can understand like one guy going through a slump. That's what 4 guys
right
in that slump. That is organizational.
And just
that is
2 days ago, it was 6 guys. There were 6 guys on this list that got removed because they might have gotten a hit or whatnot.
Yeah. So that is, this is how we want to play ball. And so this is what you're going to do. Someone on that team, a player is going to have to stand up and say, what we are doing is not working. Well, we need to fix it now.
Something's weird at work and you walk in and there's that awkward feeling or so. Can you imagine being the hitting coach showing up at the stadium every day?
Like if he gets fired, he's going to be the sacrificial lamb because it's not just him.
Oh, he should.
He should be gone. The manager should be gone. The GM should be gone. The owner should be gone. But the only one I think is going to go, it will be the hitting coach if they do fire anyone. He'll be the sacrificial lamb.
And I think because of the title of his name, I think that he almost has to be the first guy.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it's going to be.
You could be doing the best job you can. You could be doing a great job, and these guys could still go out and not hit. You're kind of responsible for them. And it's unfortunate because, again, you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, and they're just not. Come on, you can't, guys. You're professional baseball, and it's gone on for Mike. 8 games for Bay, 10 games for Jack, 8 games for Castro, 7 games. You can't, especially collectively, as you said earlier. If it's one guy, you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's the whole damn team.
It's the whole damn team. And now it's starting to bleed over into, I just saw this on Twitter, starting to bleed over into the draft. Cruz, the kid out of LSU who's just lighting the world on fire at the college World Series. There's reports out saying that he does not want to sign for the Pirates. Like some describe it as not interested, some as maybe just a negotiation play, and the Pirates are looking into options as to who else to draft other than this guy. This guy's like the number 1, number 2 prospect in the draft. His teammate, who's the pitcher, I think, those are like the top 2 guys that the Pirates are looking at. He's not wanting to come here. What we need is a bat, someone who can hit, and this kid's like, no, I'm not going to that piss poor organization. So even if we draft him and they offer him all kinds of money, he's going to turn it down. It's just wild how bad this shows how, what you do on the field matters to everything else. If you can't show that you're trying to improve, it's going to affect you down into the draft because baseball draft is different. This guy can go like, you know what? I'm not going to sign. I'm going to go play independent ball and get drafted next year and still be the first overall pick and still make money.
You know what? It's probably best that he doesn't come here anyway.
I know, because we
Best
would
for
ruin
everybody.
this kid. We would ruin him. He would sit in the minors till he's 27, 28, and just waste his career. And this is the kind, like the way he was playing. That's the kind of guy you want on your team. He's fiery. He wants to play. He loves to win. He hates to lose. You want that guy on your team, and they drafted him, and they might not be able to sign him. This is just hysterical.
I just can't get over how bad this story. And the thing is, you look at teams, and let's say football for an example, like the Cardinals, who are just historically okay. And here we go with the historically, but that's what I'm saying. Teams that just aren't never good. How are you never, ever, 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 ever any good? What? Why even exist as a team? Is another question I have. Like somebody like the Browns, I seen that they lost more games than anybody over the past 20 years or something like this. Do you think that they have the same ideas, Mike, that the people in ownership in Pittsburgh with the Pirates have? You think they're satisfied with putting asses in seats? Because here's the thing, at Brown Stadium, they fill the stadium just like the Steelers do every week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they play the same game in football too? Do you think that these people say, you know what, I don't care. I mean, if we win, good, but you know what, we're making the money off of the ticket sales. Do you think this goes on? And is this the case with some of these other teams in other leagues as it is with the Pirates? Because I can tell you what, I hate it. I hate this. And if
I see it more as like a baseball thing, because in football, the Browns suck, but they're out there that they make some boneheaded moves, but they also make some moves that are like, that was a good move. That was a good signing. Like when they went and drafted Myles Garrett first overall, that was a smart move. They've made some good moves and they made some bad moves just because they've had some bad football people running. But that odor, he's at least trying. So I can see it. I see it more in baseball because they have that revenue sharing. And there's no salary cap in baseball, or in football, you have to spend up to a certain amount at least. So where in baseball, you can spend as little as you want and make money. And that's what the Buccos do. That's what you see, like, the A's ownership doing. They're spending as little as possible and making money. Whereas like football, baseball, basketball has a soft salary cap as well. So they, you in those sports, you have to spend at least up to a certain level. So you're forced to be competitive. So I think it's a baseball thing where owners will just like, you know what? I'm going to spend as little as possible because I know I'm getting a guaranteed revenue from the league. So I don't have to spend that much. And if people come up, that's a bonus.
Derpy, are you available?
Yeah, I'm here.
Derpy, wait, here's the thing. You share lives with people who are Browns fans. I'm fortunate enough to say that I don't. But I need to turn to you for your expertise. I mean, what are the people that are Cleveland fans? I mean, what's the thought process? Because we're very, very frustrated with the Pirates. But here's the thing: football is number one. If it was the Steelers and we were going through this for, like I said, the Browns lost more games than anybody in the last 20 years, and I mean, the history of everything here. What's the general mindset of people? Are they frustrated? Are they ready to throw people out of town? Are they what's the mindset of people who are Cleveland Brown fans, Derpy?
They're crazy. And that's all I got. They're crazy.
We know that. I mean, we know that. But do they justify it?
Most people just drink it away, basically.
Yeah.
Their misery.
Like you can see it though on Browns fans. Like you see it online. They're passionate about their team. They want to win. They're like, Pirate fans and Brown fans are kind of like kindred spirits. They both want winners.
I mean, they had a parade for a losing season.
That was amazing. I love it.
That's, hey, you got to do what you got to do.
They didn't win one single game, right? That was why they did it, because they didn't win a single game.
Yeah,
you're making fun of. Yeah, you're making fun of the owner. Like, hey, you better get your shit together. We're gonna embarrass you.
I think it's amazing. I love that. That was the best thing I've ever seen come out of Cleveland. I got to tell you.
If I was a Browns fan, I would have been at the parade too, and be like, like this is what this is what the ownership wanted. This is what we're gonna give you. We're gonna embarrass you, and we're gonna make fun of this situation. I like, part of me feels bad for the Browns fans because I'm a Pirate fan. I know what it's like to a team that had a history of winning, of success, and then you're just in a sea of waste now.
And
for every good move the Browns make, they make 3 bad decisions.
And it's like, you know, and the thing is, I mean, it's not only a sea. This is an ocean with the badness of these teams.
Yeah,
Like
and
a
like the
sea
Browns have good
badness would be
players, man. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league, but the two of the best running backs, a damn good tight end, and they can't do anything with that team.
Coaching.
Mhm.
a sea of bad things would be 5 to 7 years, which
Yeah.
I think is an extremely long time to not be any good at a
Yeah.
sport. 30, and you know, people, I guess we had that 10 years ago, whatever that was. We made the playoffs a couple of years, and the Browns made the playoffs. I don't know.
Yeah, the Browns, you know, as much as I want to talk shit on them, they did beat us they have the most recent playoff win than us.
Also,
It sucks to say, it hurts.
before we start to wrap things up, Mike, the Penguins did name their director of hockey operations and legal affairs. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but we'll give it a try. His first name is Vuki, apparently Vuki, and his last name is MPOFU. MPOFU is the gentleman's last name. I don't want to butcher too bad, so
I will wait till I hear it. Someone say it.
So Vuki.
Yeah. He came from, if I remember, did he not come from Las Vegas? When I read it was like Vegas was very good at massaging the salary cap.
Okay.
So this is why, you know, he hey, this could be our Omar Khan, because Omar Khan was the guy. He was the salary cap guru, and if this is the guy that was working magic on that that Vegas salary cap, I'm all for it.
We like massages, so I'm down. Mike, why don't you go tell everybody about the website, brother?
Oh my god, I hate you. We go back to yelling about George Kittle.
Well, if we don't, this conversation is going to go back to Deshaun Watson because we were just talking about the Browns and massages.
Then you talking about creepy massages.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up, man.
Yinzers.com. It has more links. The ones down here, my personal socials, Ryan's more. He has more socials on there as well. We have our email address on there. We have our merch store. And remember, you can get your Bob Nothing merch over at twodumbyinjers.com. Show your displeasure.
All right. As much as we hate to do it, and I'm not doing this all season. I'm just telling you, as soon as football starts, this Pirates opponents trivia is done. I'm debating on whether to even waiting that long. But they do.
we might have to nix it after the All-Star break.
Yeah. The Pirates do start hosting the Padres starting tomorrow night. So we're going to start with some San Diego Padres, the Fathers.
They're in a slump too.
They are in a slump. It's not a good team. So I'm sure we'll lose, but here we go. Some San Diego Padres trivia. Plain and simple, guys. What year were the San Diego Padres founded? And if you want selections with that, if you want a choice, go ahead and mull it over in a moment. Let me know. We are live 7 days a week from Monday to Sunday, every day at 11:30 a.m. You can check us out right here. And the show that we do live every day gets uploaded over to Spotify at 8 o'clock in the evening. So if you're just more into a podcast, or maybe you just like to listen in the car, at the gym, whatever, you could always go over to Spotify and put the brand new show of the day on every single day, 7 days a week. All right, guys. What year were the San Diego Padres founded? Do you guys want you want choices?
I was just going to take a stab in the dark.
All right. You could have choices. There's two lifelines. You could have choices, or you could have a hint, or you don't have to take either.
I'll take a hint.
Mike wants a hint. What about you, Derby? Do you want choices? Do you want a hint, or do you want no lifeline at all?
Hint.
All right. So here's the hint, guys. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The hint is the San Diego Padres were founded the year that both the Mets and the Jets were champions of their respective sport. One more time, the year that San Diego Padres were founded were the year that the Mets and the Jets were champions in their respective sport. All right, I'm gonna start with Derpy. Derpy, what do you think? What year were the San Diego Padres founded? Derpy has got his chat CBT up right now.
Yes, he does. He has something up.
Mets, Jet. Oh crap! I misspelled Jet. Hurry up! Get the T. Oh. What do you got, Derpy?
So, if I recall, 68.
1968.
No, I'm just breaking it down.
Okay. Yeah, no, keep talking your answer out. It's good for the show.
Dude. Okay, oh, come on. I have it on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, if you think, let me think hard enough at you, Derpy, and see if that helps. You ready?
Yeah. Come on, Derby.
Mm.
It can't be. It can't be the 80s. It can't be the 70s.
Did that help? Did it arrive in thought, Derpy?
Do 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 do. Derpy. Derpy.
Screw it. 69.
69.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Now, is this 1969?
Yes.
All right. All right, Derpy. There we go.
I don't know. That's just
All
a
right.
guess.
69. That's your final answer?
Yeah,
All right.
because it's one of the better numbers.
I like it. I like it. Cannot dispute that. Mike, what year were the San Diego Padres founded? They were founded the same year that both the Mets and the Jets won the championship in their own respective sport.
I'm going to go with 1969. Nice.
1969. What else happened in 69? Was there Joe Namath? Maybe
Summer of Love, baby.
the Amazons, Joe Namath's prediction.
Yes.
What year were the San Diego Padres founded? And the guy said 1969, and that is correct. It was 1969. A lot of amazing things that year. Woodstock, the
The
Amazons.
Mets and the Jets won that year. How about that? How about that?
You know what? If the Mets wouldn't have won in '86, that would have been the last time that both of those teams would have won the World Series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which would have been funny because, you know what? That's correct, guys. Great job. 1969. Great job as always. Derpy, you got anything before we take off, man?
Enjoy the weather.
Enjoy
Go
the
swimming.
weather.
Something. Do something somewhere like.
It's going to be about 80 degrees today, so that's pretty decent. Mike, what about you, man?
Oh, 76 days till we see George Kittle versus TJ Watt.
I can't believe I keep calling him Kerry Kittle. You know who
I
Kerry,
don't like who.
do you remember who Kerry Kittle
about?
was? You remember who he was? He was a basketball player out of
Yeah.
Villanova. And he
Yep.
went to the pros.
Uh-huh.
And Kerry Kittle, I can't get that out of my head. But Mike is right. 11 Sundays from now, 76 days. George Kittle, TJ Watt.
I'm more worried about Trent Williams versus TJ. Oh, wait, no, Trent's on the other side. Never mind.
Do you know that TJ Watt's name is Trent Jordan?
Oh, yes, I know,
Oh.
because all the Yinzers on Twitter, they just call him Trent Jordan. And they
I didn't know this till just like over the last 2 days. Trent
Wow.
Jordan.
oh yeah.
I figured being, Wisconsin guys was probably, Tom
Tom and Jerry Jordan.
Tom Jerry. You know what I mean? I didn't
I
expect
can't.
Trent Jordan.
I can't with you.
Thomas James is kind of where I was going. Maybe something like this,
Thomas Jan, the Punisher.
Yeah. But anyway, we do want to say thank you for checking us out. We hope that you continue to do so. As Mike did state, it is 76 days away. Chris Hoke, my man.
Baby.
For the two dumb Yinzers, Derpy, Mike, myself, everybody.